Chapter 2. Crab Smith was the first man I woke up when I got down to the dark forward hold. He was one of the few lucky cases who had a bunk. The others, like I'd been, were wrapped in their bedrolls on the floor, most of them using saddles for pillows. I scratched a match and lighted the kerosene lamp on the wall only a few inches from Crab's face, then turned it up bright. "Jesus," he muttered, blinking hard at the light. "Just what the hell do you think you're doing?" "Time to get up. We'll be there pretty soon." "Good God, don't this goddamn boat never get no place except in the goddamn middle of the goddamn night?" "Come on, Crab, tonight's something really special." Slim was now awake in the bunk beneath Crab. "Hell, Levi, Russia ain't about to disappear on us. It's been there 100 years. Some of the others were beginning to wake up now. Slim started to pull on his boots and said loudly, "Bust out, fellas. Your pleasant ocean voyage is coming to an end." Slim, who was really a little on the heavyset side, was sort of an assistant ramrod to Shad and made $10 a month more than the rest of us. Like Shad, he could give an unpleasant order in such a way that it didn't sound too bad, and the men would do it without hardly thinking twice. Come to think of it, if a younger, kind of green kid like me had just gone down there and lighted the lamp and yelled, "Get up," I'd have more than likely been bruised and battered somewhat severely during the process. Rufus Hooker stood up groggy and mad, his stomach hanging out over his belt. He rubbed his small dark eyes between his mass of matted black hair and scrubby beard. "Damn hell," he grumbled. "I just barely got myself to fucking sleep." "No one could ever guess it, Roof," Slim said. "You waking up just now is a vision of rare beauty." But some of the others had the same kind of excitement jumping in them that I had. Sammy the Kid sat up near where I'd been sleeping beside the rope barrier separating us from the cattle starting to stir around in the main hold, where the yellow cow had stepped through the ropes onto my foot. "Hey," he said, "Russia?" "Unless the captain's made one hell of a mistake." Slim was now up and shrugging into his Mackinaw jacket. Shiny Joe Jackson sat up and whacked his brother, Link, on the butt to rouse him. "Heard me one time that them Ruskies are all coal-black and got themselves horns." Mushy Callahan was sitting up near Shiny, buttoning his shirt. "Just grow some horns and you'll be right at home." Shiny and a couple of the others grinned, and then Dixie Claiborne said, "That's bullshit, of course. But I really damn well did hear that they skin their enemies and tan their hides and make tents out of them." "Hell!" Link yawned, half awake now. "In that case, me and Shiny Joe ought to be worth a fortune betwixt us, if they like black tents." Mushy grinned, now standing up and buttoning his pants. "The two of you'd look a lot fucking better as a tent than you ever did in real life." "Get your gear packed and then come on up topside," Slim said. "It's about time you lazy seagoing bastards started working as cowboys again, and at least halfway earning your keep." I went back on up with Slim, thinking of the men getting ready below, thinking of the whole actually pretty fair outfit. What old Keats had said about being right side up, or maybe dead or alive and all, was still kind of on my mind. The boss, Shad Northshield, always came to my mind first and most. Maybe that was because after my parents died in the big blizzard of '65, he'd kind of naturally become like an older brother to me. I was just 4 that hard wintertime in '65, and my ma and pa had frozen to death in the little cabin they'd built, both of them hugging each other in bed one night to fight off the awful persistent cold. The reason I'd lived is that they were hugging each other with me in between them, to give me the last little bit of warmth they had in their lives. Shad had found us and pried their arms apart.